Hello friends, welcome to the channel DUDR Academy. So this video is the continuation of the question paper discussion. Kerala PSC Staff Nurse Special Recruitment Exam 038/21. Next question is question number 9. The characteristics present on a primary social group is options: large size, artificiality, physical proximity, conflict. The question is the characteristics present on a primary social group is. Here the correct answer is physical proximity. Physical proximity is the characteristic present on a primary social group. So what is a primary social group? It is typically a small social group. It is a small social group whose members share close personal relationship with one another. Example, family or close friends and all. So the first option is it is a large size. So that's wrong, because primary social group is a small social group. Then artificiality will not be there, because there will be direct intimate bonding is there among the members. They are smaller in size and also there is direct intimate bonding. So the options artificiality and option D, conflict, will not be there in the primary social group. And physical proximity means the groups are confined to a small geographical area. So that means since it is a small social group with close personal relationship, the physical proximity will be there in the primary social group, like family or in a close friendship. So we can say the correct answer in this question is option C, physical proximity is the characteristics present on a primary social group. Then question number 10. The process by which social order is established and maintained is called. Options: social control, socialization, social stratification, social relation. The process by which social order is established and maintained. The correct answer is social control. Social control means encouraging the individuals to obey the social norms. So the social order is established and maintained by the process of social control. Then socialization is the process of internalizing the norms and ideologies of the society. And social stratification means categorizing the people into groups based on the socio-economic status. So that is social stratification. And social relation means social interaction, that refers to the interaction between two or more people, group or organization, is known as a social relation. So here the correct answer is social control. It is a process by which the social order is established and maintained. Then the question number 11. Which statement is correct about cognitive dissonance? Which statement is correct about cognitive dissonance? Options: a theory of attitude change developed by Festinger, a theory based on psychoanalysis, it focuses on instinct and childhood experiences as reason for problems in adulthood, the theory assumes that all the behaviors are learned. So here the correct answer is option A, that is the correct statement about cognitive dissonance is that it is a theory of attitude change developed by Festinger. So regarding this cognitive dissonance theory, Leon Festinger developed this theory. Cognitive dissonance theory is developed by Leon Festinger. So here it describes the mental discomfort that result from holding two conflicting beliefs, values or attitude. This theory describes the mental discomfort that result from holding two conflicting beliefs, values or attitude. So all other options are not related with the cognitive dissonance theory. The other options are given related with the Sigmund Freud's psychoanalytic theory. So here the correct answer is first option, 11 question. The first option is the correct answer, a theory of attitude change developed by Festinger. Then question number 12. According to Freudian psychology, personality is an adaptation to the environment. people are free agents who have control over their choices and actions. All the energy used for performing the work of personality is obtained from unconscious instincts. The whole of anything is greater than its parts. So, what is correct according to the statement correct according to the Freudian psychology? That is the question. Here, the correct answer is C. C is the correct answer. That is, all the energy used for performing the work of personality is obtained from unconscious instinct. That is, when we analyze the first option, personality is an adaptation to the environment. Actually, that theory or that concept is based on the trait theories in psychology. The trait theories are shaped by environmental factors. So, the Freudian psychology is not giving stress to this statement. Second, the people are free agents who have control over their choices and actions. So, this statement is mainly given, or this statement is emphasized by the philosophical theory of existentialism. According to existentialism, people are free agents who have control over their choices and actions. And according to Sigmund Freud, unconsciousness is a reservoir of instinctive drives. Unconsciousness is a reservoir of instinctive drives. So the statement C is correct according to Freudian psychology, because all the energy used for performing the work of personality is obtained from unconscious instinct. And the last statement, the whole of anything is greater than its parts. So this statement is according to Gestalt psychology. According to Gestalt psychology, it is given emphasis that the whole of anything is greater than its parts. So the 12th question, correct answer is C. All the energy used for performing the work of personality is obtained from unconscious instinct. Now we can move to the next question. So question number 13. Which psychological theory explains about the schizoparanoid position as part of psychological development? Options are Gestalt theory, cognitive development theory, behavior theory, object relation theory. So the question is, which psychological theory explains about schizoparanoid position? Here the correct answer is object relation theory. Object relation theory. So object relation theory is a psychodynamic theory. It is a psychodynamic theory, and the term object relation was coined by Ronald Fairbairn. Ronald Fairbairn coined the term object relation. And Melanie Klein is most commonly identified with the term object relations theory. Melanie Klein is most commonly identified with the term object relations theory, and it describes the process of developing a mind as one grows in relation to others in the environment. So it describes about the process of developing a mind as one grows in relation to others in the environment. So here the Melanie Klein explains two psychological positions during the first year of life. During the first year of life of a person, there are two psychological positions that person assumes. And the first one is paranoid schizoid position. Paranoid schizoid position. That is during the first 6 months of life. And that period is characterized by the defenses of projection, introjection, splitting, denial, etc. So paranoid schizoid position is during the first 6 months of life, and it is characterized by the defenses of projection, introjection, splitting and denial. And during the second 6 months of life, during the first year of life of a person, during the second 6 months of life, he assumes a depressive position. So this classification is given by Melanie Klein in object relation theory. So here the question is, which theory is explaining about this schizoparanoid position? So that is correct answer is Option D, object relation theory. Next, 14th question. Which is not a correct statement about stress? Which is not a correct statement about stress? First option, during the alarm reaction stage, the physiological response of the fight or flight syndrome are initiated. Option B, cognitive appraisal is an individual's evaluation of the personal significance of the stressful event. Option C, Selye called the general reaction of the body to stress the general adaptation syndrome. And option D, according to Lazarus and Folkman, in primary appraisal of an event, benign positive outcome is one that hold no significance for the individual. So the four big statements are given. So all these four statements are about stress. Among these four statements, two statements are regarding the general adaptation theory or general adaptation syndrome developed by Hans Selye, and another two statements are from the Lazarus and Folkman's transaction theory of stress. So first statement about the general adaptation theory, during the alarm reaction stage, the physiological responses of the fight or flight syndrome are initiated. That is the first statement. So first here we should know what is the general adaptation theory or general adaptation syndrome. That is a theory of stress developed by Hans Selye, and it is according to him, the stress is a biological response. Stress is considered as a biological response, and there are four stages of stress: alarm reaction, then resistance stage and exhaustion stage. Stages of stress according to general adaptation syndrome are alarm reaction, resistance stage and exhaustion stage. So during the alarm reaction, physiological response of fight or flight syndrome are initiated. So there is a fight or flight response during the alarm reaction. Then comes the resistance stage. If continuous stressor is present, the body try to resist the effect. And the exhaustion stage means inability to defend against the stressors. If stress does not get solved, then person become exhausted. So that is the exhaustion stage. So there are three stages. So first statement is correct. During the alarm reaction stage, the physiological response of fight or flight syndrome are initiated. Then second statement is about Lazarus and Folkman theory that we will discuss. Now you can see the third statement. Selye called the general reaction of the body to stress the general adaptation syndrome. Selye called the general reaction of the body to stress the general adaptation syndrome. So that is correct, because Hans Selye developed the general adaptation syndrome as a theory of stress. That is, stress is a biological response or general reaction of body to stress, or it is the response of a body, a general reaction of a body to stress. So that statement is correct. Then option B, cognitive appraisal is an individual's evaluation of the personal significance of stressful event. So this statement actually we should know about the another theory of stress, that is Lazarus and Folkman's theory. According to Lazarus and Folkman's theory, stress is considered as a transaction between individual and environment. Stress is a transaction, considered as a transaction between individual and environment, or stress occurs during the transaction between individual and environment. Because if there is any precipitating event, or any precipitating event means any stimulus that is arising from our internal or external environment, that is an event as stressful, any stressful events or precipitating events are occurring, that will lead to a cognitive appraisal. What is cognitive appraisal? It is the individual's evaluation of the personal significance of an event is known as cognitive appraisal. Okay, cognitive appraisal is the individual's evaluation of the personal significance of the event. So that is the statement given. Cognitive appraisal is an individual's evaluation of the personal significance of stressful event is the statement. Option B is given, so that is correct according to the Lazarus and Folkman's theory. So this cognitive appraisal are of two types. Primary and secondary appraisal will be there. In the primary appraisal, it can be irrelevant, benign, positive and stress appraisal. There are three types of primary appraisal is there. Irrelevant means if an event is judged irrelevant when outcome holds no significance for individual, and event is judged as irrelevant when outcome hold no significance for the individual. And when an event or when an outcome is benign, positive means it is that that is perceived as providing a pleasure for individual. In case of any stressful event, through our appraisal, if it is become a positive outcome, means that is perceived as a event is providing a pleasurable experience for the individual. And another one is the stress appraisal. Another type of primary appraisal is stress appraisal. That means that particular event has caused a harm or loss, or it can be a threat, or it can be a challenge. So this stress appraisal will lead to a secondary appraisal. That means when a stress is produced in response to harm or loss or due to threat or any challenge, that leads to a secondary appraisal. And that secondary appraisal is the assessment of the skills, resources and knowledge that the person possesses to deal with the situation. All the skills, resources and knowledge that the person is having to deal with the situation. That means all the coping strategies which are available, all these are included in the secondary appraisal. So that will decide upon taking upon a response, whether as an adaptive or a maladaptive response should be made. That is based on the secondary appraisal. So this is the Lazarus and Folkman theory. So option D is given according to Lazarus and Folkman. In primary appraisal of an event, benign positive outcome is one that hold no significance for the individual. That statement is wrong, because according to this theory, in primary appraisal of an event, irrelevant outcome is one that hold no significance for the individual, not the benign positive outcome. Benign positive outcome is one that is perceived as providing a pleasure for the individual. So here the correct answer, the question is which is not a correct statement. So the statement which is not correct here is option D. According to Lazarus and Folkman, in primary appraisal of an event, benign positive outcome is one that hold no significance for the individual. That statement is wrong. So thank you, and the remaining questions will be discussed in the upcoming videos.